You are watching the Deadfoot Diver Podcast with Kurt, the Deadfoot Diver.
So back then, you wouldn't have even had any like formal rebreather training back then, would you?
I was already a relatively accomplished deep air wreck diver. We were diving the Andrea Doria. I probably at that point I'd say I had probably 100 air dives on the Doria and maybe another 20 or 30 gas dives on the Doria. But the rebreathers were like the new thing. So I was an already experienced diver. It is. We relied on the diver community as opposed to the certification agencies. There were certification agencies, and a lot of the guys that I was diving with were like scuba instructors, but a lot of them weren't. I was teaching open water scuba through NASDS, doing deep air dives on the Andrea Doria, and we were playing around with things like nitrox and helium without any education whatsoever. I took a class. It wasn't even a class. It was like a lecture from Billy Deans. Billy Deans came up to New Jersey from Florida, and this is what we're doing with mixed gas. And there was no certification agency. There was no certification. There was none of that. But it was like those guys were way ahead of what we were doing at the time in New Jersey. And I think it was like a year later, he came back to New Jersey to do some diving. And he was like, oh, you guys really got this wired now. We're starting a certification agency, IAND. There was no technical diving. It was IANTD, but they added the T for technical later. And they had two certifications, nitrox and TriMix. And Billy basically certified us, John Jurgen and myself, brand new certification agency and all that. And we'd already been diving this stuff for.
So what's your cert number? Or is it low, like in the low, like under 100?
50. I think I'm 58 and John Jurgen is 57, or it could be 59 and 58. John Jurgen's got one number lower than me, and he's never let me forget it, ever. I was certified before you. So I was already an accomplished diver. I was already doing a lot of wreck dives, this new diving apparatus. But rebreathers were also killing guys. When every guy's like building his own unit, you had to be careful. But it's a year after that, I talked to Martin Parker at AP Valves, the inspiration, one of the first rebreathers for the public. And he was like, we got 5 units and we're going to build another 5 units. And I was like, great, I'll take one. He's, no, forget it. You live in America. Everybody sues everybody there. Besides, he said they're already spoken for. And the guys who were making, there was a company who was making Mark 15 military rebreathers. But the problem was they were going under. They would take an order, but their suppliers were like people that I knew, and they're like, now those guys, they're not paying their bills. That's like, whatever you don't give them money. If you can hand the money and take the stuff, okay, maybe that'll work. But the Mark 15 was a military style, and what we wanted as civilian wreck divers was completely different. And we wanted deep diving rebreathers, and the Mark 15 military goals are military goals. Commercial diving is commercial diving goals, not even military goals. Recreational wreck divers, what we wanted to do was different. And there's no experience that you can have diving